happens when you got dreams closer than imagine. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Daniels. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Set, ready? 18, Gator. You ready, Rick? You ready, Rick? 61, Matchbox Lights.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
54, right there. 54 Mike. Hey, defense, let's go.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Right there on the coverage was the safety, Jesse Bates. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positive moving forward.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Rudolph looking to throw it. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now Rudolph. Flushed out right, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
They didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Take it at the 37. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Set, 8, read.
54. Watch the curl,
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking to throw on second down. Daniels. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. These two teams all tied after one.
Check. 3 down.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking to throw. Daniels going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down. Rudolph now to throw. Looking long for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by half.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another... read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Here we go. Come to the ending. Come on.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll run here with Mixon. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
They go.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. And that's caught by Smith. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 39 yards there, a big one.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
Stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. From the red zone now, Rudolph. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
On 2nd and 10, Rudolph looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Lots of look to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check. 59.
Quarterback, don't get nervous.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Set up, 18 Gator.
Get in the way.
Greystone travel.
Alert 3.
Snap.
On 1st and 10, Rudolph. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Kill. Turn up. Shift. 36.
25. Check 25. Check 25. Big grip.
A 10th carry for Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Hey, Delta.
Right there.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bengals drive about to get going. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, might as well.
And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Daniels. And an alley to run. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watch the screen. 58's Mike.
On 1st down, Daniels. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. He's at the 50. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now it's Rudolph. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Blue draw quarters.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Buying time to his left. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thomas, the intended target. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Right back to him on first down. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
To throw on second down. Daniels. And complete to Zach Ertz. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Got you. I got you, son.
From the gun on third down. Daniels, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded just inside the 20. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, the number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Kamara. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rudolph. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. We have played 3 quarters, and that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Hey, Echo. Get it.
Rudolph looking to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
It's going to be a long day.
Check X3. 218, chopper. They go.
Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. He's got it at the 15. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Charlotte, 64, weak. Hey, lock it.
Watch the whip.
Bravo.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. Traquan Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. 2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And he's going to go down again. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. On 4th down, Daniels. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Cameron Jordan. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position.
Ready?
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Kamara trying again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Rudolph. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 6 yards away. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Got to be feeling confident they're going to get off the schneid. An old coach told me he calls this a relief win. 0-3 would have been bad. You get to 1-2, you feel a lot better, don't you?
That is so true, and you feel better about yourself. You think to yourself, okay, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're not out of it at 0-3. But the other part, too, it leads to doubt about your system, leads to doubt about your coaches. They don't have to worry about that now. They can move forward.
Luck's good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 1st down. Daniels dumps it off to Mixon. And he's able to get up here to the 26. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And one's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you will too.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.